Hi, welcome to week 40 and 41 in our book, Queen of the Castle. 52 weeks of encouragement for the uninspired, domestically challenged, or just plain tired homemaker. And honestly, today, I'm tired. It's been a long couple of weeks. I've been dealing with some health issues, which is why week 40 didn't air last week, which I apologize for. But you know, life happens, so I don't feel too guilty, and I know you understand. Week 40 is stuff that I've already talked about, the joys of leftovers. I talked about corn night at our home, where it's clean out the refrigerator night. I've mentioned in a previous video, and I have actually, I'll try and link the quiche recipe, where I have taken just leftovers and made a quiche. Very easy to do. I'm not going to show you how to do that. I've done it before, not going to do it again. But I am going to show you what I'm doing with my leftover garden supply today. So we will key into that, and then we'll be back to talk about week 41. The seasons are changing, homemaking in the fall. Hey, if you're anything like me, life can get pretty busy, and it makes it very difficult sometimes to do all those things that you have planned. Well, last week our video was going to be on leftovers, and I just didn't get around to it for one reason or another. So here I am, and this is what I'm doing with my leftover tomatoes. So join me as I share with you my secret. So a while back, I shared with you these books called Bear Wallow books, and in one is a tomato book. And in here on page 6 is a homemade tomato sauce. And I've made this before in the past. Last year we had a plethora of tomatoes, and I can't tell you how many plants we had. It was crazy though. So at the end of the day, what we were going to do with all those tomatoes, because they're going to go bad. Well, I decided to try my hand at this tomato sauce, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. So we had some leftover. I'm going to go ahead and switch this around so you can see. What I was trying to accomplish here was the recipe's asking for 12 ripe tomatoes, peeled, cored, and chopped finely. Now you see that I did not chop them too finely because I will put this through a food processor a little bit when this is all said and done. But I didn't have big tomatoes. I had some like grape tomatoes, and I had some tomatoes that hadn't fully ripened out on my vines, and I also had some from an event we had here at the house a while back. Okay, so what it's asking for is you take the onion and the garlic and the olive oil and you stick it in the bottom of the pan, and you turn it on and you saute it a little bit. From there, you're just going to dump all of the rest of your ingredients. So I put in all my tomatoes. It's asking for oregano, bay leaf, salt, celery salt, black pepper, sweet red pepper, and sugar. So a couple of things I did to substitute. I don't need a lot of salt, but I still want that nice flavor of celery, so I went ahead and put celery seed in lieu of that. And then I didn't have any chopped up sweet red pepper, but I had some of these. And I just put a few of those in there to give it a little bit of a kick. And instead of regular sugar, I'm using Truvia. Now, it says basically to stand here for 2 hours, mixing it constantly until it is ready. And then you're supposed to cool it, put it through a food mill, discard any seeds, return and cook uncovered until mixture is thick. You can then pour it into canning jars, which is what I did last year because I had so much, and I did can them. Well, I'm not going to stand here for 2 hours. I am going to transfer this to my crock pot, and then tomorrow morning, when I have more time, I will finish this up, and it's going to be delish. So here is what our pasta sauce looks like after being in the crock pot all night. We're going to transfer it to our Cuisinart here, our blender here, and we're going to basically try to get it to break down a little bit more, and we're going to leave it at that. All right, here we go. We're going to put it on low. Let's take a quick look, and look at that. So if you like a chunky sauce, don't do it too much. And then I'm going to put these in plastic baggies like I mentioned before, and stick them in the freezer. And then when we want some pasta sauce, we have some ready made. What do you think about that, Benno?
Awesome.
How did you like the pasta sauce I made last year?
Amazing.
It was amazing. He came to bed last night saying something about how the kitchen smells amazing. And this is it. This is it. Well, I hope you enjoyed as I worked through the pasta sauce recipe, and I hope that it is helpful to you, and I will be sure to add that recipe in to the end of this video. Week 41, we go into the seasons are changing, homemaking in the fall. Fall is honestly my favorite time of year. I love how in our area we have, trees that change color, and we get a little bit of crisper air, and so we have a beautiful fall. Winter, I think, is the season that we don't get as often. It gets cold, but we rarely get that snow. In the city we lived in before we moved out here to the country, we would get ice storms about, I think we figured every 6 years, and it was pretty crazy, and might be trapped at home for a day or two, but it really wasn't bad at all. Well, she goes into talking about how for her it's a time of year where nesting takes place, and she does quote another author who also does that. And I want to say I kind of do the same thing. It's that, spring cleaning, same thing with fall. I feel that refresher in the fall and more energy. So I have a tendency to want to do a little bit more organizing, a little more putting away, and it kind of goes hand in hand with us moving. I'm trying to get through the last of the stuff that isn't moved and put in its home. But one of the things she talks about are some of the things that people like to do, like going to a football game. And I actually had the opportunity to volunteer at a local theater a couple weeks ago, and I want to tell you how much I enjoyed that, and sitting down and watching a play and laughing and being amongst other people. So that was really fun. As a family, even though my kids are adults, my birthday's in September, and so is my son-in-law's. He wanted to hang out here at the house and have a simple dinner, and I said, hey, let's go to the pumpkin patch. So we got to go to the pumpkin patch, and it was just a joy to watch our granddaughter enjoying the farm and the animals and everything that she was able to do. So that was a lot of fun. We took some family pictures and just had a fantastic time. Some great ideas she talks about is gather seeds from the spent flowers in your garden, bag them up and label to plant in the spring. I'm not going to do that. Pull out candles to dine by. Now that's something that I like. I do like that. She's talked about serving an all orange dinner with the kids devising the menu, and that was actually really fun. I've done that with my kids before, where we've just chosen a random color and tried to create meals. So I remember the orange one. I remember it was our first one we ever did, and it was like I think it was macaroni and cheese and like Cheetos, and I think we got orange soda because we just didn't do that very often. And I can't even remember what we had for dessert, but everything was orange and it was fun. We had carrots, and there was I can't remember what we had for dessert, but it was a very fun dinner. And they've actually asked to repeat that a couple of times over the years because it was just fun and silly. Hike with your family on a woodsy trail, and that's something that in the fall I have a tendency to want to I want to ask my husband, but I haven't done it yet because I just haven't been able to slow down a whole lot. But I want to go for a walk with him in the evening. That's something that I miss. And he's also pretty busy in the evening right now, but we've got to find the time. So she talks about if you've carved a pumpkin, sprinkle cinnamon or nutmeg on the inside of the lid. That way when you light the candle, like, what a fantastic idea. Also, it's a great time to start clearing out your freezer, using up those berries. And I've decided I'm going to make some sort of cobbler or special cake every week, and hopefully be able to share that with friends and family. Anyway, there's lots of different things. If it starts getting cold, change your sheets to flannel sheets, and that's always fun. So also celebrate Get Organized Week, which is founded by the National Association of Professional Organizers, and you set aside 15 minutes that every day that week to sort through different piles, whether it's a junk drawer, pile of mail, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I love I've mentioned before, where we decorate throughout the seasons, and so I will show you how we've decorated this new home with our fall decor. I've decided I just want to focus on the living area, and so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick tour of our living area with the fall decorations, which my daughter put up for me this year, which was really nice. And then I just kind of moved things around a little bit, just because I want to make sure whatever I'm not using, that it finds a new home. If it's not meant to be here, then I'll have the kids go through stuff as well. And if it's something I'm getting rid of, or it's been the family, or it's just a decoration they really love, I have them put their name on it. That way someday when I decide to get rid of that item, I double check, is it something that they want, or and hand it to them, or do I when we pass away or we can't make those decisions anymore, it's easier for them. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of my beautiful home and or my living space. Oh, we had the opportunity to meet the original owners this last weekend, and what a joy. Such a blessing to be able to meet them. Christian couple, and just the love they put into this home, and it was neat to show them what we have done just with the decor. We really haven't messed with anything because it's so perfect. I think we've added screens to the sliders, and that's about all I can think of off the top of my head. So blessings to you and yours, and I hope you enjoyed my tour. This is the doorstop the previous owners left. It looks real. Back there are some stuffed animals that we leave out for our granddaughter when she comes to play. And look, they're in the pumpkin patch. Hi, Kiara. And then in here, that was a leaf drawing my husband did when he was a child. It was beautiful. Put some tapers in there. It's kind of dark over here. Doesn't want to pick it up. Sorry, it says autumn leaves and pumpkins, please. Yeah, this comes out for a few months every year. This is from our Alaska trip. It's from our Disneyland trip. That's our youngest, her profile with Minnie. And then I found the exact same frame at a secondhand store years ago, and that is a card that I put inside there. I just thought it was awesome. And this is one of my absolute favorite decorations that my daughter made me. Hey, just a quick update. It was 2 days ago that I made that spaghetti sauce, and my daughter was messaging me today. So as I'm putting these videos together, 2 days later, it cracks me up about that pasta sauce and how fragrant it is and how much my family loves it. So anyway, I had an event today. That's why I'm looking a little different, but blessings to you and have a great week.